See it?
Yep.
Okay. Do you want to begin?
Okay.
I think we left off at the top of the bottom of page 72.
Okay. If you think of me, these orders will go easy for you. Yoga means control, which is more difficult than cutting off your arm or giving up your eye. Well, hello, cutting off your arm or giving up your eye is pretty damn tough. I'll opt for control. When said to give your other cheek to be slapped, it means control. But the world thinks that if you get slapped and don't get excited, you're either a coward or shameless. Innocent and fair criticism does not hurt and is good, but it is quite rare. What I mean by talking ill of others is when you criticize and it hurts. It hurts when you criticize excitedly out of anger. When you criticize with love and kindness, how can it hurt? So remember that, kids. Criticize with love and kindness.
I don't know how to do that.
Well, I guess I bet if we pause longer and
Yeah, that's a good suggestion.
yeah, and like not talk over each other and stuff like that. So any remark or criticism that does not hurt is good. Have fun, joke, be humorous, but do not hurt anyone and talk back in anger. If you point out the shortcomings of others lovingly, without any feeling of hate or animosity, it is all right. Even arguing with love is permitted. Try your utmost to help me, which you can do by acting according to my wish. Sacrifice your sweet habit of hurting others. That's a good line. Sacrifice your sweet habit of hurting others. Fight to overcome lust, anger, and greed. To control is not to do that which you have been used to doing. As my work is based on my own supreme sacrifice, it will make your sacrifices for me by following my order easy. If you fail once, do not give up, but try again. If you succeed once, you will have helped me a lot. If you fail 9 times and win once, that too helps. If a man feels hot, is feverish, is hungry, or is ill, he gets excited and angry. If you have a toothache, you are more apt to become excited about something than otherwise. Compared to a toothache, lust, anger, and greed are most horrible diseases. Try to free yourselves from them. There's no question of compromise in spirituality. Every desire is to be extirpated, 100%. It is either yes or no. On a previous occasion, Baba had told the Westerners in Nasik, do not become angry, but be pleased with him who backbites you, for he thereby renders service to you by diminishing the load of your sanskaras. Also pity him, for thereby he makes his load of sanskaras more burdensome, since the sanskaras for those trays will transfer to the one who criticizes. He particularly warned them not to make Mehera upset. If you give her a chance to become irritated, you have failed. And if she gets excited, angry, it is finished. Yeah, I wonder what that had to do with within the war.
They're
Something.
going to explain that in a few paragraphs.
Oh, the next day, 26th July, and I believe we're 1940, right, Tina?
I think so.
Baba officially gave them their orders and reiterated, these orders are not to be taken lightly, but to be considered as the greatest injunction that a time such as this needs. Everyone has to contribute his or her quota in this. Every effort will count. Later that same day, Baba commented to the women, this war is a big drama. There's the hero, the heroine, the villain, all playing their parts in the drama. It's not Hitler's fault if he is playing the villain in God's drama. It's good. He is acting his part well. I like villains, heroes, angels, devils, anyone who acts their part perfectly. The sidebar says, the women were intrigued to read that the initials of the current world leaders could be written as an anagram to spell Christ. Churchill, Hitler, Roosevelt, Il Duce, that's Mussolini, Stalin, and Tojo, the Japanese warlord. And they mentioned this to Baba. Baba's avataric mission was to wage war against Maya to redeem the world. And the women now had their orders and their duties at headquarters. On 27 July, Baba gave them a specific schedule to follow.
Get up 4:45 in the morning.
Get up
From
at 4:45 in the morning. From 5 to 5:30, sing Hari Paramatma. Breakfast at 6:30. The servants will sweep your room and wash them once a week, but you should dust your own corners. It will be a great help to me if any one of you will be gay and cheerful for the whole year. Oh, so we've been talking about orders that are like for a year.
I
Try
think
your
so.
try your best not to be sad, moody, or upset. At least one of you must try. But for a woman not to be upset for a whole year is difficult. Mani described that period. Baba said that at 5 o'clock in the morning we were to gather in the kitchen. There was no electricity in those days. There were kerosene lanterns. I sat on a platform where the stove is now with a harmonium. I would be singing Hari Paramatma Ahura Mazda, God Yezadan, who. I said it once and then all joined in unison. Nadine had a beautiful operatic voice and sang it very forcefully. Everybody had to attend. The Westerners had to come down from those dormitories. It was very difficult for Elizabeth to get up early in the morning. Elizabeth was so silent in her love for Baba. She put on a dressing gown and came down the steps in the dark with a lantern, all the time with her eyes closed. She walked into the kitchen with her eyes still closed, sat on a bench by the door and sang. After Elizabeth left for America later on, we talked about it amongst ourselves. There was no more of this getting up at unearthly hours. The system had changed then to more normal hours. On 27 July, Baba also arranged a private showing at Sarosh Cinema of Rebecca.
Rebecca.
Thank you. With Laurence Olivier and Joan Fontaine. All enjoyed it. The sidebar says the women won, the movie an Academy Award for Best Picture that year. While visiting the women, Rebecca, can you remember that movie, Tina? Is that the one
Yes.
where he drives her crazy somehow?
Daphne du Maurier, right?
He killed his wife, but the second wife is jealous because she thinks she died a natural death.
So everyone enjoyed Rebecca. While visiting the women that following evening, Baba said, at 7:30 p.m., I go to my room. The boys will come to massage my feet. For the past 2 nights, I could not sleep because of fever and pains. Today, I have diarrhea. A 6-month-old Alsatian puppy, whom Baba named Warrior, was brought at this time and given to Elizabeth to look after. Baba wished to take the women to one last movie before entering seclusion, and on 29 July, he said, "If we can, we will go see Edward G. Robinson's picture on the 31st. I like to see him act. He is one of my favorites. This will be the last picture. Today I was so busy." Then Baba then made a slight change in their order about singing the 7 names of God. I thought about singing in the morning. From every point, I find it better from 5:30 to 6 in the morning. I will also arrange my work according to that. Tomorrow, get up at 5 and breakfast at 7. So the schedule is advanced half an hour, I guess.
Mhm.
Baba was still not feeling well before his seclusion began. On 30 July, he commented, "I am ill. When anybody is ill, their diet should consist of milk, tea, coffee, sago." Anybody know what sago is?
I don't know.
And gov sabun, herb tea at any time. But the next day, he did take the women to see the Edward G. Robinson film, Dr. Ehrlich's Magic Bullet, about the renowned German bacteriologist whose years of research yielded a cure for venereal disease. Baba joked, "When I was in college, the one thing that bored me was lectures on science. And today, I was in college again when I saw this picture, Dr. Ehrlich's Magic Bullet. When I saw Narina thrilled over it and in tears, I thought that was the limit. More interesting is the life of the discoverer of homeopathy, the German physician Samuel Hahnemann." And the sidebar says Samuel Hahnemann, 1755 to 1843, was also interested in spirituality. At first, he was a member of the Freemasons. Later, he developed an interest in Eastern religions, then Confucianism. Concerning the source of his inspiration, Hahnemann wrote, "I have accomplished only what an individual can do with his feeble means, guided by the invisible powers of the Almighty, listening, observing, tuning in to his instructions." So Hahnemann's name sounds like the Indian.
Where were you?
Oh, yes, you have to scroll up just a tad. There we go. the German physician Samuel Hahnemann. He was so opposed, so insulted, starved, but he got it. He experimented on himself for 40 years. Baba instructed them, no bazaar chits from tomorrow, except for shoe repair, watches, torches, that's the British for flashlights, spectacles. I will come to see you every Thursday. I go into seclusion tomorrow at 4 p.m. I shall fast on water tomorrow. Then from the day after, like the rest of you, I will eat once a day. For the first few days, you will find it difficult to eat once a day. Then you will find it easy. It's a good way of controlling your belly fat, I must say. The gramophone was brought and music played. About one Indian number, Baba commented, this Sangeet song has been created by Tansen in Akbar's time. There was one with Wali, meaning saint. There was one Wali in rags who in ecstasy would sing and the rains would fall. Sometimes he sang in such a way that it produced lights. Tansen caught all of these different notes and named them accordingly. Deepak, Meg, etc. The sidebar says Tansen was a famous 16th century Indian singer employed in the court of the Mughal Emperor Akbar. So the good spot for another reader to take over.
How about Eva?
I can take over, but I have some noisy dogs here. Is that okay?
We'll try it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was.
Tina,
Well,
how-
maybe
how
I
about
should take
you?
over. Where were you, Eugene?
Oh, you accidentally scrolled down a bit. So scroll back up. Yeah, right there. But right after that little leaf in the center of the page.
Okay. Baba entered seclusion in the former maternity hospital compound on Meherabad Hill, being used then as a mast ashram on 1st August, and remained in seclusion for 3 months. No one from the Mandali except Vishnu, who brought the mail, was allowed to see him. A servant also brought the Times of India newspaper every morning. And the sidebar says, though Baba read the newspaper every day, he often referred to it as bogus news, like Trump's fake news.
I love that, Tina.
Yeah. A week later, on Thursday, 8th August, Baba came to see the women and explained more about his way of working with Karim Baba. This new one is from Calcutta. is a very rare type. He is in the longed for by Ramakrishna. The state he is in was longed for by Ramakrishna and Vivekananda. He never asks for anything, not even water. Whatever you put before him, he eats. We put about 200 cigarettes before him, and he smoked them all 4 at a time and swallowed the ends. It is phenomenal. Then he goes to sleep again. He either sits or sleeps. When for my working purposes, I want to keep him awake, I put cigarettes before him, which he smokes continuously. Then he goes to sleep again. Although his sleep is not ordinary sleep, but it is super consciousness. When I put 50 pan before him, he ate the whole lot. He does not enjoy it, however. It is all the same to him. He has not the slightest consciousness of the body. He is now in a cage. I keep him locked. Can you guess why? When this child gets into a temper, he is beyond anyone's control. Not even 100 people. Sorry. When this child gets into a temper, he is beyond anyone's control. Not even 100 people can control him. When I find him approaching that temper, I even a little, I go calm and calm him. The child is childish. The mad is mad. The ghoul is a ghoul, violent. But this type is 3 in 1. When he acts like that, there is also a reason behind it. The changes and works of the world and the humanity are played through great souls, musts, and worked by infinite power, by the infinite power of perfect masters. Why does not a saint get violent? I'm having trouble scrolling down. Why does not a saint get violent? When he acts like that, there is a reason behind it. The changes and works of the world and humanity are played through the great soul's musts and worked on by perfect masters. Why does the saint get violent? When the infinite power expresses itself through gross form, this gross form reacts in reverse, in the opposite way, because of the grossness is the opposite of God. I'm having a little trouble seeing. Baba urged the women to come to keep up their part by following his orders. Now, when I come here every Thursday, we will talk of everything but the war. Soon it will spread to Bombay and Ahmednagar. All over the world, people are so sad and mad, and soon it will be beyond conception. Therefore, you must follow the orders as you did this week, but more wholeheartedly and ever willingly and happily. Do not do it just because I order you, but because you like to obey. On Thursday, 15 August, when Baba was with the women from 1:30 until 8 p.m., he began by talking about the must and mentioned that lately he had been coughing at night. The saints give us a gala every night. Then 10 of them sing loudly all night. Chati Baba sings too, saying, "Catch him. He is dead. God is dead." All this has meaning. Baba had printed the letter of Vivekananda's with him. Had a printed letter of Vivekananda's with him. He had he had it read out. He also discussed the metaphysical concepts from a Gujarati translation of the Hindu Vedant. Then he remarked, "We won't talk of war, but everything is speeding up. It will get to such a completeness that even America will enter into. Even America will enter in. A child must, Kareem Baba, I am sending soon to the same place from where he came, Calcutta, and another will come in his place. The child must is a Mazu. He is one with God, but he does not retain normal consciousness. Because he has a body, he acts like a child and mad, and also mad and ghoul. When in the body, the infinite power acts through body in the opposite way. The Vedant has such jewels to translate. Only the West does not know that such a state is possible, but mystics know. The Vedant calls for union with God, Vidyan Bhuvan. There are 4 planes. The first plane of food is called Anabhumi. The plane of food means the body. Eating, sleeping, walking, etc., all on the gross plane. The second plane is called Vedant, Pran Bhumi, the plane of life where one gets to experience the planes of sound, smell, and energy. The third is Man Bhumi, the plane of the mind, where only the mind and not the body works. The mind knows what each one thinks, and even what you will think tomorrow. These are the planes of duality. The fourth plane is Vidyan. There is only God. So one who is with God is on the Vidian plane. Take these planes as an example. Take an example of these planes: earth, air, sky, space, sun. The earth receives the rays of the sun, but it is far off. The air is nearer. The sky is nearer still. To be united with one, with the Son, God. Baba explained further in a paragraph from the Vedant. When one is a real child, a kingly child, that means he is God realized, as in the Godhead, there is pure childhood. That is why Jesus said, lest you become as like a child, you shall not enter the kingdom of God. To such a child, all the universe is a toy, and the whole life, the whole infinite life is a garden with which the child plays. One who is united with God, if he retains the body, then the infinite power, bliss, and knowledge of God automatically expresses itself through the body. Such a one then appears to be stark mad because of the infinite power expressing itself through the body. He is free of all, he is continuously free of all bindings. Whatever he does, no law applies, as he is beyond understanding and common intelligence. Ordinary people cannot understand his ways and actions and think it extreme madness. Someone else want to take over? How about Eva?
I can try. They're quiet. Okay. And where do I start?
Someone asked.
Okay. Someone asked, when in the body and enjoying divine bliss, doesn't he want to help humanity? Baba replied, the goal is to be one with God. What else matters? When one becomes God consciously and all the universe becomes zero, he sees only himself in everything and everywhere. Who else matters? Therefore, whom to help? He sees only self in all humanity, in each of you. Well, then, whom to help? One cannot help unless you come down to normal level. Those who come down have a mission to help others. They see themselves tied in others and free in others, so they help. By using this freedom, you free others. Explaining further, Baba stated, Majzub is a Persian word meaning divinely overpowered. One gets drowned, immersed completely. We see Majzubs eating, drinking, etc., but they themselves do not know it. Literally, they are not at all conscious of the body. For example, when a person in his sleep talks, sings, or cries, others hear it, but the person himself is not conscious of it. That's why these matters are never ill, that is, no bodily consciousness. Out of 1,000 million people, only 100,000 are on the spiritual path. Out of these 100,000, only 10 become Majzubs. And out of the 10, only one comes down as a perfect master. Chadi Baba is on the 6th plane. Today I have talked much. I won't do it every time. I don't like it. In the Must Ashram, I don't talk, I work. From next month, September, I will come twice a week, on Sundays and Thursdays, because plans are moving rapidly. In December, I might make drastic changes. Not in the orders, they remain the same for 1 year, but changes in place of residence. I might have to cross the ocean. I will see. I will tell you next time. I might send Arena to South Africa, and Margaret will go to Australia, perhaps to await us. Baba concluded by instructing, I want you to start sending Warrior, Elizabeth's new dog, over to the Must Ashram every day at 2 p.m. for a week. Later the same day, when Baba was sitting under the tin shed with the women, he remarked about the orders they had prepared in Ranchi. The signers have shown the orders to their friends, and now many of them also are following some of these orders. I am happy about it. The friends will show it to other friends, and so on, and it will spread. 300 have signed, but about 450 are following. The one man who did not sign has sent for the orders and is following them. All but 4 of the orders, in fact, more than anyone who signed. For you here in the ashram, it is not as difficult to obey the orders as it is for those outside. They work, have businesses, families, etc. Yet amidst all that, they obey. Bilou Sarosh has to see to the motor works and cinema, and is training in the army as captain. He has a family and other responsibilities. It is so difficult, and yet he obeys. On the other hand, it is also difficult for you in a way, for you have no distractions of any kind, cinema, music, and so on. Till December, it will be very bad. Then the ride will turn. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Then the tide will turn. 7 days will be bad. India will suffer most. She will have all kinds of war, military, social, financial, etc. Baba ended by relating that the night watchman had spotted 2 wolves prowling outside the compound. Excuse me. Early in the morning at 3 a.m., the watchman chased them away, but Baba warned the women to take care of the poultry. On August 16, Baba finished his work with Karim Baba and sent him back to Calcutta with Kakabaria. Baba himself then began staying in the Must's cage room. Previously, Baba had been staying in another room of the maternity hospital compound. In the meantime, Hitler had finally realized that Britain was not going to make a deal for a negotiated peace and let the Nazis take over. So he decided to invade. With most of Germany's naval fleet already destroyed in Scandinavia, he had to rely on the Luftwaffe to take out Britain's air force. On 15 August 1940, the Nazis began massive air attacks on England. Sidebar. Coincidentally, Nazi U-boats, submarines were roaming the North Atlantic in what were known as wolf packs, disrupting British shipping. On 22 August, Baba returned to the women at 1:30 p.m. After spending an hour with Mehera, Mani, Khorshid, and a few other close Eastern women, the others were called to Mehera's room. Baba sat cross-legged, or with his feet stretched out, on Mehera's bed, a large pillow behind his back. The Westerners came and sat around him, each bringing her own wooden stool to take her usual place. Sidebar. Narina's spot, for example, was near Mani's cupboard. Smiling at each one, Baba inquired individually about their health and well-being. He then talked animatedly about the musts in his care, relating some of their amusing traits. You should hear Muhammad. He asks every day when his wife will come, and we tell him every day, 10 days more, as we have been telling him for 2 years. Laughter. Someone remarked that Baba himself looked well and beautiful, and yet last night was a terrible night for me, he revealed. Papa Jasawala had returned from Burma, and Baba made some humorous remarks about the plight of the 4 men Mandali who had been put on silence and sent to a mountain with the hot-tempered pistol as their leader, saying, you can picture him telling them all to go to hell when he could not understand their signs. Papa maintained a strict discipline over the men, which Baba said was good for his purposes. And Narina remarked, but Papa is somewhat stingy. And scroll down. Baba smiled and spelled out, well, let's not criticize, which was one of their orders. As it was almost 4 p.m., Baba remarked, until 4 o'clock, we will talk of war, and then gave them a summary of the world situation. Churchill will be marked down in history as the greatest prime minister of England. America is slowly coming in. One thing is definite. We will be in the midst of war. Bombs will drop on Narina's foot. There are 4 stages of this war. The first is now over, and the second will soon begin. It will be bad. The third will be very bad. The whole world will be aflame. The fourth will be termination. The 3 phases are within 1 year, 4 months each. And sidebar. As a young man, Churchill joined the Royal Cavalry and was sent to India in 1896, 2 years after Meher Baba was born. Churchill even visited Pune and spent part of his 2-year tour in the northwest frontier, near where Mehera would later be born. Baba then spoke about their orders. To obey implicitly, one has to be on watch all the time. Do it with all your heart. I even sent word to other places to remember and to remind each other when criticizing. Such orders are so subtle, so you too remind and help each other. The difference in good and bad is so subtle. Good for one person is bad for others. Hitler really thinks he is doing good, but his good is bad for others. The obedience is not for good or bad. It is just because to obey is to help me. If you take it lightly, it is of no use. The world disaster has only just begun. So implicit obedience, try more and more, is very helpful. Don't think because I look so happy and well, that it is all so easy. I feel very, very well, but very depressed. Last night was very bad. Baba sent most of the women out and asked only the intimate ones to remain. He then confided to them, Mansari got 8,000 rupees from her house family. She has given it to me. If what I am planning to do in December works out, I will need lots of money. If I work it out as I am planning, you will have a real surprise, the surprise of your lives. The money, when it is for my work, and scroll down.
I'm trying.
Okay.
I'm having a little trouble with my cursor. I'm sorry.
That's
I
okay.
can't scroll down.
There you go.
Oh.
There you go. Maybe it's just takes a long time to do it, a delayed reaction.
I don't know.
Let's see. Baba's okay, I read that.
I don't see the text.
You don't?
No.
Oh, I do see it.
I'm going to have to stop the share.
Okay.
It was close to quitting time anyway.
Yeah. That's a positive spin, Eugenie.
Can you find the record button?
Do we have to re-record it?
Oh, well, you could turn, to turn it off. There you go.
Hide video panel. Stop recording.
That one, yeah.